going on? Welcome back to the Truck Driver Sean YouTube channel. And to another episode of Sean Probably Shouldn't Be Buying Effects Pedals. I'm an overdrive boost kind of guy. But I like playing cleans, but when I play cleans, I want like a nice ambient landscape, you know, washing out with some delay and some reverb, maybe a little touch of chorus or flanger or something in there. So I'm trying to find like pedals that will facilitate that in a way that I'm going to be happy. And I guess I just kind of want to have it all in one pedal. So I tried this because it's literally called the Ambient. It is by Walrus Audio. It is part of their fundamentals. Just like that. Inside the thing, it comes with a sticker that says "We love you," a little like business card telling you sort of, kind of loosely what this thing does. Yeah. Look at that. Yep. All right. Not much to look at. You got 3 sliders, which are super simple. Why they're even labeled, I have no idea, because depending on what mode you're in, they do something completely different. Yeah, that's a thing. Thank you, Walrus, for making a very simple pedal fucking confusing. But they're giving this to you at a price that's ridiculously low. They hit the market at $130, and out of nowhere, they dropped them to $100. Now, in a time when people are raising prices, they drop theirs. And when they drop theirs, here comes the real funny part. These are barely ever in stock. It took me forever to get my hands on this. It was like out of stock forever. So you have a DK, you have a tone and a mix. They're on sliders. You have 3 positions, and then you go in between each position. There's like a little thing that clicks and lets you know you're in the middle, and of course go to the end, you're on the end. Then you have 3 different types of reverb. You have deep, lush, and haze. Your deep is going to be like a real dark ambient reverb with a little bit of an octave down in it. And then your lush is going to be like a really expansive reverb with lots of sustain. And your haze is going to be like that textured lo-fi reverb. And, you know, the sample rate reduction in it is pretty unique. You know, you don't see a lot of pedals with it in there. But really, at the end of the day, these are hard to find. And it's not because they're overly anything special. They just do a very particular thing very well. And coming in at $100 now, which really bummed me out. When I got this, it was $130. The following week, it was $100. That sucked. But yeah, again, I know it was a little funny that I mentioned that companies won't work with me on timed effects and stuff. I have no hate for companies that don't do that, because I totally understand it, because I do not know my way around these types of pedals, because I'm an idiot. Like I said, overdrive, boost, that's my universe. I play high gain stuff. We're going to get on the cleans. Matter of fact, we'll hook up right now. What weapon am I going to use today? We're going to use the Tremonti Wood Library from PRS. Going to play that through the clean channel on the Prometheus by Liquid Audio. And obviously, cabs will always be, if you're in this room, unless I am demoing a physical cab, you will always see my custom Arachnid cabs. In my opinion, they're the best cabs I've ever played in my life. All right, very cool. On to the play. Let's do some playing. All right, to the Batman. Alright, that's with everything in the middle straight down it. So we have the lush for the type of reverb. All the controls are in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the deep is like with the controls in the center. now we'll do the A's. So as you can see, just the 3 different modes give you a little bit of a different flavor. So we're going to leave it in the middle. We're just going to show, well, let's start in the deeps, I guess, because they all do something different in each mode. So the first one we're going to attack is the decay. Now we're going to do the tone. Now we're going to do the mix, which I'm assuming no matter what mode it's in, the mix is going to be how much goes into your signal and how much of your signal goes into it, depending on which side of the parameter you're on. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to say that's probably the coolest thing that I've seen so far is it just gives you swells, which is really cool. Alright, now I'm not going to reach off whichever, you know the order I do them in, but we're going to go over to Lush and see what happens to the settings on this one. All right, so as you can see, they act a little different, but the mix is still the same. So the mix does not change. The other two, they behave a little differently. As you can tell with that one there, she got really oscillated on both, not just one. So that's kind of cool. If you're into that shoegaze type of stuff, it's going to do wonders for you. All right, so now onto the haze. All right, so there we go. That's what she does as far as all the individual stuff. Now I'm just gonna have fun and just dial in a wacky situation and see what we can come up with. All right, here we go. Alright, so when you turn it off, the trails just keep going apparently. I don't know how long they'll go for, but I've had enough of that. Alright, shh, enough. Alright, my overall thoughts on the pedal. For people who really do like a reverb, for $100, it's probably hands down, without question, the best I've ever played at that price point. Walrus always builds stuff amazingly well, and even though it's coming in at $100, this is not made cheap or anything compared to the ones that are 200 and something dollars. It's made of the same quality. It's got a lot of functions. There's even more things you can do with the reverb by playing around with the stomp pedal, but yeah, the way I film it, if it has to be tinkered with like that, I just skip it. You can figure that shit out on your own. But anyway, that's the fundamentals. Yeah, Ambient. It was a fun pedal to check out. I definitely need to check out more Walrus stuff because everything I've like played other people's and stuff, they have, even though it's not my thing, they're still very interesting and they're built extremely well. So if you're gonna want to like check out a brand, even if this isn't the pedal for you, I'd check out Walrus just because they really do give you bang for your buck and they build rock solid stuff. All right, my name is Sean Davis. They call me Truck Driver Sean because, well, my buddy Gino figured he'd put what I do for a living with my name and go, he's Truck Driver Sean. And it stuck. I mean, it stuck like pasty shit to a baby boy's nuts. It just, yeah. Of all the things to have stick, I became Truck Driver Sean. But hell, been doing it now long enough that I find it humorous. So I guess if you stick with a bad nickname long enough, you'll enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Gear used today, again, my PRS Wood Library Tremonti. That is going into the Fundamental Ambient, which is going into the Prometheus by Lickworm Audio. And hey, that right there is an Arachnid cab. All caught with an SM57. For all you people that complain that I don't use a 57, ta-da! Using it for you now. Yeah, I've had one all along. I just prefer my Sennheisers. Anyhow, catch you in the next video. And hey, subscribe to my shit. Brother out. All right. Very cool. Later.